Buck, I know we're not supposed to talk to you in here, but the starting goalies are Kovash and Gilsen. Gotcha. Hey, Bucky. Mark Gianola, you were waiting to hear back if he's the CEO of Davos or the Spengler Cup. He's both. Okay. Top spot in the Cattini group on the line here tonight in Davos as the host HC Davos looks to book that spot in the semifinal, going up against Sparta Prague. Both of these teams winning close ones against the Canadians.
Yeah, in the opening day of the tournament, it was Sparta Prague skating to a 3-2 victory over Canada. And then last night, our first look at HC Davos, 2-1 victors over the Canadians.
And both of those goals for HC Davos coming in the first minute and 55 seconds against Canada. One goal 31 seconds in, the other to follow just before the 2-minute mark. Prague also, late in the first period against Canada, scored 2 goals over a 30-second stretch. So both of these teams have shown the ability to strike quickly in this tournament. Should be a good one with the host in action here to wrap up day 3 and wrap up group play at the 2022 Spengler Cup. And we have an offside just seconds into the hockey game.
Oh, there's a look at Vladimir Sabatka from Sparta Prague. Many years with the St. Louis Blues in the National Hockey League. And there's Klaus Dahlbeck. He also has NHL experience with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Gilles Sen getting the start for Davos, 4th Spengler Cup for him. First Spengler, he was just 19 years old. Played a couple of games with the New Jersey Devils on the other side of the pond. Was a 5th-round pick back in 2017. And it will be Jakub Kovac between the pipes. 9 seasons in the KHL, now his first year with Prague. Did play in the Swiss League last year, so Davos should be familiar with him. Faceoff will come to his blocker side right. And Rowe, off the draw, knocks it into the corner. Now in behind the goal, Stransky watches. Corvi over on it there, let it slide. Knocked away, here comes Repik. He's been dangerous all tournament. Repik turns, throws it across, and Stransky on the back check gets there to break it up. Dahlbeck, center ice. Flips it into the corner, heads off on an early change. Battle down low in behind the net. Won by Prague, off the glass, out and down the ice. Vellinger did not play last night. Draws into the lineup tonight on the back end, has the puck now. Good pass up the middle, Sorella drops it off. Be turned back around as a nice start, puck movement through the neutral zone there for Davos. Center ice, again right up the middle. Dropped off, Sorella in behind the goal. It goes through his legs and back up the ice the other way. Now in behind the goal, given away, opportunity right out front, high slot with a shot and they score! A mistake in the corner cost them, and it's Michael Kempny who puts it home in his first game of the tournament.
Well, Gilles Sen, guilty of coming out to make this play from behind his own net, gets picked off. The centering pass comes right to Kempny, and he's got not necessarily a wide open net, but he puts it past a stunned netminder. And we talked about the great start that Davos had yesterday against Team Canada. Well, Sparta Prague counters Davos tonight.
Just 1 minute and 23 seconds in, and it is HC Davos now trailing 1-0 on the goal by a Stanley Cup champion in Kempny.
Well, not a bad start to your first shift of the tournament. I think he was probably on the ice for 3 seconds.
Yeah, he came right off.
Literally just come from the bench, picked up that loose puck, and it's in the back of the net.
Also had not scored in league play yet this year, just 8 assists, shot in there, and Sen will hang on and make his first save of the hockey game.
I'll get a quick look at the replay. Eric Thorell, who also did not play yesterday, a terrific read, intercepting that pass, throws it out front. It actually took a little bit of a fortunate bounce that found its way all the way back to Kempny, and he puts it in far side past the blocker of the Davos goalie.
Kempny into the lineup, and then up front, an entire line coming in together. Eric Thorell, Roman Horak, and David Tomasek listed as a second line. And we've got a Prague player, gloves off, heading to the bench. It's Mikolish. His equipment remains on the ice. He's holding his arm on the bench. Training staff will tend to him. Now to the blue line. Minder. Rasmussen knocked it loose. Ristet, who had a goal last night, takes it down into the corner. Ristet trying to work his way out. That's broken up. Rasmussen sends it in behind the goal, Nordstrom. Nordstrom waits, takes it back down into the corner. Avoids those gloves laying on the ice, throws it across, and Nygren couldn't hold the zone. He'll have to retreat back to his own blue line. Pass ahead for Ristet, but it's broken up. Thorell back in by himself here. Tried to cut up high, no shot. Will be harassed back up towards the blue line. Dumps it off, and now it'll bounce close to coming out of the zone, but not just yet. Eagley has to go back into the corner to get it. 96 in yellow. dumps it off, now takes a return feed with speed. Throws it up the middle of the ice, just missed the intended target, and it bounces down in behind the net. Eagly's on it there. Here's Eagly trying to work his way out, wraparound attempt, paddled away. Back to the point, another shot! And that's steered aside by Kovash as well. First couple of tests here tonight for him, and he's passed with flying colors. Reverse down into the corner. Loose puck. Played into the slot. A Noose Bomber now back to the point. First save made, rebound there. Push just wide of the goal by Noose Bomber, who now heads off on a change. Solid response here from Davos.
Is it ever? Terrific job jumping into holes in the offensive territory. By the reaction of the referee, I think that might have caught some iron. You got to look at a couple big collisions. There's Joachim Nordstrom going down hard, Miklic. And we'll see what caused him to lose his gloves and stick. It's kind of a shoulder to the nose area. Well, it makes the eyes water.
I think he's kind of holding his arm there on the bench too. We'll keep an eye on him.
He placed his gloves ever so nicely.
They almost
right
felt like right where you would, yeah. It was really weird the way they landed.
Back with the skate. Good stuff. Go.
Face off, batted out of the zone. Pechot will go back for it for Davos. Takes it in behind his own net. Almost 4 minutes gone. The first chance of the game just stopped. They were going for the first 4 minutes of the hockey game here, despite their team. All right, here they come again. Now in behind the net. Brought away. Flipped towards the blue line. Sent right back. Eagly stumbled in the neutral zone. And now stripped from behind. Here's an opportunity for Rowe by himself as he comes in over the blue line. Had a goal yesterday for Davos. Tried to flip it ahead. Sabatka broke that up and plays it back calmly. And now they'll move it over near side for Yandis. Yandis off the skate of Repik. Knocked down into the corner. Terrell first on it. Horak there to work with him. Horak tied up along the boards. Trying to kick that puck loose. Great battle here in the corner to the left of Gilles Sen. Prague all over it, eventually knocked it away. And Vellinger in behind his own net. Dangerous play right in front, but they put it right back behind the goal. Now Nygren moves it ahead. Right up the middle of the ice, Sorella couldn't do anything with it. It's broken up, Tomasek back the other way. Krutil waiting for it at the blue line. Horrible turnover, and luckily it's called on an offside, even though it's kind of fired back in there by HC Davos.
Well, the puck hadn't come out. If it had, it probably wouldn't have been offside. Take a look at Davos forward going hard into the boards. There's definitely been some physical play early on between these two clubs. We just saw that last battle that lasted a good 7 or 8 seconds on the boards in Davos territory. Both teams realizing that a day off and a trip directly to the semifinals is on the line for the winner here.
Well, that day off's got to be tempting. Hey, you'd like to have that semifinal trip combined with a day off. I'm sure they'll take it. Down low, Nordstrom. Rasmussen there as well. Back up to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck off those lively end boards, bounces out, read well by Prague. And now they'll move it ahead. Yandis far side. That'll be broken up. Dahlbeck ahead to Brustet. Brustet, though, could not control. Buchtala moves it back. Now some room to skate up the left side. That space taken away immediately. The puck as well. And now in behind the goal. Davos will set things up. Eagly misses it. That's all the way down the ice. 4 icing and a stoppage with 13:44 remaining here in the first.
Well, Dustin, something to keep our eyes on as we go forward through the first period here. Davos has really been able to exploit that pass up the middle of the ice in the neutral zone. And it's basically about a 60-foot pass just inside the blue line, their own blue line, to the far blue line, coming through the middle of Prague to gain entry with speed. That one was an errant pass that came back for icing. but some good passing there from Davos.
Draw won by Prague. They'll play it in behind the goal. Pribble with Sabatka and Repik. So good against Canada was this trio. Sabatka back down to Pribble. Now Repik will take it in behind the net. Repik spins back. Plays it all the way back up along the boards. Moving down to help out in the corner, Moravchik. Moravchik in behind the net. All the way back up to the left point. Settle down there and then rip back in all the way around. Repik waiting for it on the right boards. Harassed from behind. Pribble comes up with the puck. Bobbles on him. Moved all the way around, back to the blue line, held in again. Kempny drops it off. Wants the return feed, they'll throw it across to Repik, and he fires it high over the glove of Sen, and it's knocked out to the neutral zone. A dangerous look, and Kempny sure is moving well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been a terrific addition to the lineup for Prague, and obviously no surprise with his resume and what he's done in the past, most notably a Stanley Cup champion with the Washington Capitals.
Knocked around, right side, Krutil plays it in behind the goal for Horak. Horak, watch closely there, left it for Kempny. Soft flipping behind the net, broken up, and now brought away by Davos. That pass misses the outstretched stick of the intended target. And all the way down the ice for another icing. Rafael Prasel could not get a stick on that one.
Well, Dustin, really with the exception of that, you kind of about a 45-second shift from Davos where they had sustained pressure, they haven't been able to get a whole lot of momentum going. Whereas Prague the other way, we've seen them a few times start the cycle, win some battles down low.
Sparta Prague has won this event twice, but you'd have to go back to the early 60s to find it. Now in on the attack. Corby had it bounce off his stick, tries to play it in behind the goal. Now thrown out front, dangerously bounced back into the corner, and now moved around far side. In behind the net. Corby back up to the blue line, bouncing puck over the stick of Dahlbeck. Now Dahlbeck waits and takes his feed off the end boards. Gives it right back. Pressure coming from Prague. Dahlbeck's got to be careful here. Prague comes in and takes that puck away. What a job on the forecheck by this Czech club. Ambul, first time he's touched it tonight, drops it off. Dahlbeck plays it out, making a change. Now it's just going to lay there. Prague takes over again, this time a shot high and wide. All the way around, back up to the blue line. Moravchik couldn't knock it loose. Now Dahlbeck in behind the net. Dahlbeck on his backhand moves it to the blue line and out, relieves the pressure. Sent down the ice. No icing. And Davos back to set up shop in behind Gilles Sen. Left side. Rasmussen into the far corner. Ristet giving chase. This was the line that had the sustained pressure, and really the only pressure from Davos so far in this one. Kempny leading the rush again in on a shot that's off of a stick, up and out of play. Former NHLer Michael Kempny making an impact early. He did, eh? Or he hyperextended his elbow or something, like he. Yeah, look like he's holding his arm.
It's a little away from the puck, but it's the same play that Rasmussen did on your guy. You know what I mean? But I don't see anything to the head. Okay, yep.
Good, mate, yep. I'll see it.
Okay.
Welcome back to the final action of day 3 at the Spengler Cup. 2 games tomorrow, 2 more after that, and then the Spengler Cup final on New Year's Eve. Sabatka on the draw. Rasmussen wins it. And now brought ahead by Nordstrom. Nordstrom plays it ahead. Bristet was up in front of him, couldn't get a stick on it. Crutil, far side. Oh, what a pass. Picked up neatly there by Sabatka. Sabatka now in behind the goal. Pribble throws it in front, nobody home, but they will knock it loose again. Dahlbeck plays it in behind the net. Near side, Nordstrom. Nordstrom down into the corner. Nussbaumer comes crashing in there. Pribble in behind the net. Crutil will be pressured. That's Eagly. Minder moved down from the point, but they get it past him and out to Nygren in the neutral zone. Nussbaumer plays it back to Nygren. Stretch pass up the middle off of a skate, and that'll be offside as Schmutz brings it into the zone. Eagly was ahead of the play. Trying to go up the middle again there.
Yeah, just about, just off the skate. During that break there, we saw Andre Miklic go off the ice to the Sparta Prague dressing room, followed by the doctors. That was the player that we saw injured a little bit earlier this period that left his stick and gloves on the ice. So we'll try to wait word to see if he's done for the evening.
Certainly wasn't a vicious hit or anything along those lines, right? Now in behind the net. Davos is able to win this battle. Pass out front, shot from Pashod. And Kovac has had a quiet start to this game, is able to get his glove on this.
And that looked fairly routine. I mean, it was a quick one-time shot. He had to be ready, but ever so casually saw that right into his catching glove.
Kovac spent 2 years in the Ontario Hockey League back in 2007, 2008. Split that time between Oshawa and Windsor. Now sent towards the goal. Oh boy. Another great look for Prague. Now back up top. Shot there through a crowd and it's in. Sparta Prague silencing the crowd here with their second of the game, 2-0. Moravcik's shot from the point somehow gets through.
Well, great job here from Vitush. He was the one who got it started. It was his speed that created a little bit of time and space, and it looks like it's a deflection right in front. Safin, stick on the ice. Terrific tip, puts it right up in the top corner. No chance for Gilles Sen, but it started with a terrific entry from Prague. Great speed, too much for Davos to handle. They win the puck in the corner, get it back to the point. Moravcik's shot on net, and Ostap Safin with a very delicate deflection.
And a nice start here again. Prague led Canada 2-0 at one point yesterday, eventually got it up to 3-0 early in the second. And Davos, after winning a tight one against Canada, now find themselves down here, have allowed just 3 shots, but 2 of them have found their way in. This one will find its way down the ice, no icing on the play. Prague back on the attack right away, another shot through. And Sen was able to knock that down with his glove and trap it under his pads.
Well, good battle here. Up and almost completely over. And a backflip as Crutil in the foreground just about hit him with a slap shot. That was Jakub Konechny.
Sabatka, Repik, Pribble.
Guys, both guys, fast the half line. A little bit over.
Over the boards here for head coach Miloslav Harava. Sabatka, oh, what a play, wins that cleanly back to the point, and deflection in front, almost exactly how you draw that one up.
I mean, that's just a smart hockey player. That's all that is. identifying that Davos has no one on the wall on that face-off. He essentially just wins it to himself. Brilliant stuff, Sabatka.
Sabatka up top, Repik a shot. Sen had to reach out for it awkwardly, but he was able to hang on. Pribble hadn't got there to cause an issue in front just yet.
Well, really, this threesome picking up where they left off as we get another look at that terrific deflection. That was a great view of Safin. He didn't have much space to deflect that up over Sen, and that's exactly where it went, right up top corner.
Face off, glove side left of Gilles Sen. And Davos will control out to the neutral zone. Pressure here on Moravcik. Picked up an assist along with Vitouche on the Safin goal. Just inside the blue line. That was kept in at the point by Minder. Now they'll work in behind the net, down in the corner. Back up around the boards. Minder had slipped down again. Nussbaumer is there. Back up along the boards. Minder had slid down again, and now a stretch pass up the ice. Brought in. Nice move and a shot. Sen with a save. One of his best of the game is Tomasek with a nice move to cut inside and get a shot off.
Well, how about the outlet pass there, too? I mean, you've been under pressure for about 30 seconds, and Tomasek realizes that he can just fly the zone here on the left side. Beautiful pass, and then you're right. What a terrific move that just about got through.
From center ice, it'll be ripped in. Corvi first on it along the boards. Bouncing puck down into the corner. Has to turn it back up along the boards. Dahlbeck couldn't control. Now Vitouche will force him to make a play on it. Return feed to Dahlbeck. Gives it right back. Stretch pass here to Corvi. Chops it in over the blue line. Rowe with some pressure. Crutil playing with Kempny. Crutil's just 20 years old, and I'll say he looks more comfortable with Kempny than he did in their first game against Canada. Funny how that works, eh?
How that works. You're a young defender, and you've got a poised veteran flanking you. That sure helps.
Crutil, unsigned, but was drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks. Now down the left side, Konechny into the zone, plays it back up top. Quick one-timer, and Sen kicks out the right pad on that one. Keeping it close for now is Gilles Sen. Change for both teams, and a quick reset in behind the Davos cage. Vellinger now skates it away, right side. Now they'll use the left for Stett. Pokes it past Repik, down in behind the goal. Now Sabatka. Headmans it. Moravcik rips it around in behind the goal. 5:20 on the clock, given away in behind the net, right out in front, and Repik didn't miss by much. Sabatka, Pribble, and Repik picking up where they left off against the Canadians. This Canadian blue line can tell you how much of a handful they were.
Yeah, and now this Davos blue line is saying the same thing. I mean, the pressure, we're just seeing it's too much right now, resulting in turnovers from Davos onto the stick of Prague.
There's Bomber in behind the net, tried to play it to Eagly. Eagly watched there by Kempny. Kempny tied him up momentarily, then Eagly gives it away. And it'll be brought in, and that is offside with 4:36 remaining in the first period. Got it. Okay. Sparta Prague on top, 2-0 here with just over 4.5 minutes remaining in the first. It's been a pretty impressive start from this Prague team.
You know what, it really has. And I guess when you inject a couple players that have NHL experience, 3 in fact in total, into your lineup from who didn't play against Canada, that's going to bolster you. But they've looked very, very good against Davos. And quite frankly, Davos just has not been able to get a whole lot going here. So props not only to Sparta Prague for getting out to a 2-0 lead, but defensively solid as well.
This is a program right now that has over 1,200 games of NHL experience on the roster. So no shortage of it for this team. Now in the neutral zone, Tomasek walking in, trying to take it wide. Tomasek down and behind the goal. Swings all the way around, back up, shot fanned on and flipped out. Pressure relieved for Davos, and they're gonna sneak in a quick change here. Buchtala from center ice. Rips it in behind the goal. Stransky waiting on it. Is able to knock it back out to the neutral zone, but fired in again. Davos trying to clear the zone. Buchtala knocks it down in behind the net. Nygren, veteran defender, a good stretch pass right up the middle. Corvi tried to control it, lost it at the last second. Safin now knocks it down in behind the net. Buchtala, Stransky's first on it though, and Stransky will play it in behind the goal. Nygren now with Rowe up to his left. That puck a little too hot to handle and be brought back the other way. Thorell pokes it towards the net, came right back to him but bounced over his stick. Kempny, Krutil, Thorell, Konechny working down low with Dvoracek. Krutil moves down from the point, keeps that puck deep. Pashod will play it in behind the goal. Now a little bit of room to skate. They'll move it ahead and in over the blue line. Ambule circles back. Pushed off the puck by Kempny. What a tidy play by that defender. And he knocks it all the way down the ice. Just made that look easy.
I mean, Andreas Ambule's a pretty slippery player, a longtime veteran of this league, and Kempny just made that, as you said, ever look so smooth. Strip the puck, turn it the other way in Sparta Prague's favor.
Kempny was with Washington last season, spent a little bit of time in the American Hockey League last year as well, and now finds himself here in Prague. Dahlbeck pressured by the big line for Prague. It's Pribble now. Repik and Sabatka will head off on a change. Pribble will join them. Dahlbeck moves it ahead. Rasmussen, left wing side, gets wide, throws it across, nothing there. And Pribble, at the end of a shift, is able to poke it in over the blue line, not much further. And now a turnover just inside the zone. Waiting for it back at the right point. That'll be settled down by Bohm. Plays it back in behind the net. Nygren takes over for Davos and decides to just kill off a few seconds, let his forward group make a change, and now they'll head out on the attack. Eagley takes the pass, pokes it in, chases after it. Nussbaumer goes in behind the net, has it knocked off of his stick. Right idea, couldn't execute. Now Schmutz. Eagley drops it off. Ripped around behind the goal again. Near side, Schmutz this time got a glove on it. To the blue line, kept in. Pashod hammers it back in deep. Now Schmutz in front off the side of the goal. One of the better chances that Davos has had with less than a minute to go in the first period. That one sent all the way down the ice.
Well, good final push from Davos there, and you're exactly right. Best opportunity, it was winning the battle behind the net, putting the puck to a quiet zone, and then out to Schmutz, who just misses on the short side.
Up the middle of the ice with speed. They'll get it to Rowe. 16 seconds left in the period. Shot through. Kovac steers it away. Corby now. It bounces. 10 seconds left in the period. Dumps it off to Fora with a shot and they score! Bounces off the leg of Stransky. And Davos with a buzzer beater late to get on the board here in the first.
A massive goal for Davos. 6.5 seconds left in the period. You can see the slap shot from Fora. Looks like it might have gone off two people, but ultimately off the leg of Stransky in front of the net. No chance for Kovac, the Sparta Prague netminder. Right off the boot. I mean, Stransky didn't even know the puck was coming. No. He spun the other way just to get open, maybe looking for a rebound, and it hit his foot.
The lesson here, kids, is to go to the net and good things happen. That's where most good things happen, right at the front of the net. Stransky has one bounce off him and in.
You know, not only that, a little bit of momentum for Davos to carry with them into the locker room because, you know, for 19 minutes, that was all Sparta Prague's period. Right before that goal, Davos had their best chance, so something they can hang their hat on going forward.
First place in the group on the line. Davos gets one late. Prague still on top. 2-1 at the Spengler.
Yeah, that hit. You're right, Bucky. That hit both.
I think we should go when we need to dump it, we should go for a soft shift. They're cheating so much with the far D. They're winning every cross dump we have. And the rims too. I don't know, what do you guys think? Then at least we have to turn both of them and go somewhere. Now the far D just staying there, that's why we can find center sometimes in the middle because it's a huge gap between the top guys and the Ds. But if we have to dump it, then I think we go for a soft chip. So everybody knows. It feels like when we have to dump it, and we rim it or cross dump, then they're so deep with the Ds. Yeah. So it feels like we lose it every time. Even though it's a good rim or a good dump, but they're just standing there. So when we can shot it's a soft dump. Like on the boards, then these both have to go turn.
Sorry, de rechte feitje is perfect. Ja, dat die rechte moment. If I can maybe get it out.
Klasse, what do you think on that goal? I was thinking the dive backward. No, it's not that. No, I was just making sure, you know. But I saw you were kind of with it, so I just put my stick down. Oh shit, that's not sorry. I was on two times working my back. Sorry, we're in the game, boys, huh? Yeah. fucking terrible period, only 2-1.
Buck, you there? Hey, yeah, I will. Hey, my buddy just sent us the that piece again that they did from the top, from Jakobshorn. It is unbelievable. Did you see it? Oh, you got it. Okay, good. How good is that? Very cool.
Welcome back inside the Ice Stadium here in Davos, Switzerland, as we continue with day 3 coverage at the 2022 Spengler Cup. Sparta Prague on top 2-1, but we can't overstate how big of goal that was late for Davos.
Well, 2 fortuitous bounces that go in Davos's way, ultimately going off the skate of Matej Stransky with 6.5 seconds left in that period to cut the lead in half.
They lead 2-1. Prague also an advantage in shots, just 7-5 in that first period. Repik will flip this down into the corner. Pribble with the pressure. Stransky, the goal scorer, comes up with the puck, drops it back to Fora, and now it's moved up the left side. Played down in behind the net. Stransky comes crashing in there, bounces over his stick, and a penalty coming up here. It'll be Pribble going to the box for what appears to be a trip. Call it a hook officially. Either way, he'll go sit for 2 or less.
Well, it was good speed from Andrew Rowe there to jump on that loose puck. Pribble recognizing that he's not going to be first to it, puts his stick right between the legs of the American forward. And, well, coming off that obviously late goal in the first, now here an early power play in the second. The arrow was pointing up for Davos at the moment.
Well, this place, which is already buzzing, will certainly erupt if they can get a power play goal and tie the game at 2. Nygren tosses it across, gets a return feed, fires, hit a body, bounces into the corner. Now thrown out, Sarella into the corner to grab it for Davos. Back up top to Nygren. Far side, played in behind the goal. Nordstrom couldn't get a stick on it. Now Sarella reaches for it, can't get it. Buchtala will send it all the way down the ice. All 4 penalty killers off on a change for Prague. Nygren drops it back. Sarella, left side, onside. Sent down in behind the net, just gonna sit there. Sarella comes in, they try to knock it loose. Laid back up top, Ambul gives it away. Now a shorthanded opportunity. Horak walking in, he's gonna keep it, he'll take it. And Jill Sen with the save, now Sarella. Michelis in over the blue line, has it knocked away. Now he's gotta hurry, here goes Horak again, working his way onto this puck. In all alone, backhander, stop by Sen, rebound, fired over top of the bar. Another crack at it, Kempney jamming away, and they score. Second of the game for Michael Kempney. This one's a shorty. Prague on top 3-1.
Well, what a colossal breakdown for Davos. Puck goes the other way. Davos makes a change, so it's a 3-on-2 in favor of Prague. One chance, no goal. Second one over the net. You're on the power play, Davos. How can Kempney be the third guy to get in there and get his stick on the puck, and still only 2 yellow jerseys in the picture? Terrific speed for Horak here. Makes a wonderful play. What a huge save from Sen. And then Sabatka put that one about 8 feet above the net. And you're thinking, okay, surely that's bought enough time for the Davos forwards to get in. But they were nowhere to be found, and Kempney, with a terrific second effort, bangs that home.
Well, yeah, because Sen had already stopped Kempney once as well. Where was everybody? Horrible change on the power play, and it bites Davos in the butt. Corby up to Eagley, plays it down low. Stransky will slide down. And after getting a goal late in the first and then a power play to start the second, you would have thought Davos would have the momentum, but Kempney steals it back. Stransky down the boards, trying to work his way out to the middle of the ice, can't do it. Bouncing puck, sloppy in there, eventually batted away. This should be a hand pass, and yes, it will, as Pribble came out of the box and skated on to that loose puck.
Well, we definitely have to talk about Michael Kempney, because what a terrific recognition. He's a defenseman, you remember. So he, of course, realized...
And it's on a penalty kill.
Well, exactly, and on a penalty kill that, you know, hey, There's Horek up in the play, and now Sabatka, and yet there's still only 2 yellow jerseys. Real heads-up play from the Prague defender for his 2nd of the night.
Big addition, sliding into the line. Did not play in their opener against Canada. Horak, who started that play, also did not play in their opener against Canada. Pretty clear that they have a better roster dressed tonight. Sen leaves this in behind his own goal. Dahlbeck off the boards into the zone. Eagley first on it. Verstedt comes in to help out. Nussbaumer. Verstedt engaged in the battle. Eagley sort of just waiting to see where this puck pops out. And when it does, it's up along the boards. Nussbaumer goes in and keeps it alive. Verstedt in behind the net, working on Moravchik. Lost it, taken away, and now out to center ice, all by himself. Safin, one-time Edmonton Oilers draft pick, has a goal. A nice redirect in this game back in the first period. Through the neutral zone, and now down in behind the net. Kempney's on it there. That puck was stolen, kept in, poked down into the corner. Now around on the near boards, sent towards the net. Attempted tip did not work, and it's all the way down the ice. Ambule, far side, offside, as players were tied up at the blue line, and the whistle blows.
Well, we get a good look here. This is the ref cam of the shorthanded goal from Sparta Prague. Look at this, still only 2 yellow jerseys in the picture. And good strikes from Cattini there to outmuscle his check to put that in. Big smiles from Sparta Prague.
Whoever wins this game will have first place in the group. Swing and a miss there from Nordstrom at the side of the goal. Canada sitting in 3rd in the group. And we'll play Orbro tomorrow in the first game of 2 here at the Ice Stadium. Pribble walking in. A ton of time. Feathers it through for Repik, who'd been left wide open going to the net. But Sen was out cutting off the angle and made sure that redirect didn't cause any problems.
Well, nice job from Pribble pulling up short there just as he crosses the blue line. Knows that he's got Repik going to the net. And I think Repik had 2 options there, either a little tip like that or maybe even to play it on his backhand and then cut across the front of the net. Gilles Sen, full value for that save.
Dahlbeck trying to move it ahead. Corvi gives chase. Corvi's going to slide in there, has an assist in this game. Out there with Stransky, the goal scorer. Stransky pokes it loose to Rowe. Gives it right back to 44 in yellow. Now Rowe wants the feed, and looked like Corvi was offside. He was. The arm is up, and the whistle will blow with 15:01 remaining in the second.
Well, let's just go back to the start of this period. 2-1 was the score, an early power play for Davos, seemingly with momentum on the side. The shorthanded goal for Prague, and then really, since then, not much of a pushback we've seen from Davos.
Shots 12 for Prague, just 5 for the home side, and all 5 of those coming in the first period. So shots are 5-0 so far here in the second. One of those, a shorthanded marker. Dahlbeck in behind the net. Fora slides down, sends one through, never made it to the goal. Now it's batted down, and away to the races we go. Konechny drops it back, shot through, and they score! Bukdala trickles it between the legs of Sen, and it's 4-1 Prague.
Oh, this is one that Gilles Sen would really like back. Terrific speed from Vitush. Drops it from Buchtila. And a shot from about 23 feet out, but the goaltender sees it the whole way, and it just squeezes through his pads with enough to get across the goal line and make it a 3-goal lead for Sparta Prague.
A backbreaker for Davos. One thing they do have on their side is a lot of time in this hockey game. Not even at the halfway point of the second period just yet, but they've got to start generating something offensively.
We can't see it in the pictures, but head coach Christian Vovand of Davos is now having a chat with Sandro Eichleman, the goalie that played yesterday for Davos, right on the bench. It's happening right now. So, of course, if Davos loses, they have to play tomorrow. And so you probably want a fresh goalkeeper. So I just wonder if what the conversation is, hey, if, we give up another one, can we put you in? Interesting to see that.
Yeah, it would be, I think you'd probably, if you go down 5-1, you just leave Sen in there, don't you?
I think I would. I think that'd be my call.
Nygren.
And that may very well have been the conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, don't even think about getting your stuff ready if this continues.
We need you tomorrow. He was the player of the game against Canada.
Yeah.
He was terrific. And he is their regular starting goaltender. Plays 2/3 of the games during the season. This shot in, knocked in behind the goal. First shot of the period for the home side. Eagley has it knocked away. Repic clears the zone. Pashode moves it across. Dominic Eagley, far side. In over the blue line. Rasmussen puts it in front to Rowe. Tried to throw it across to Bristet, but it was broken up. Now Rasmussen with Rowe. Sabatka comes up with the puck. Rowe will pin him in the corner. Sabatka, nice move. Gives it away, though, in behind the net to Bristet. Bristet throws it in front, nobody home, and it's out and all the way back into Davos territory. Eagley, center ice, gets it deep. Now into the corner with some pressure. Erased immediately, back to Minder. Minder plays it back in behind the net. Schmutz. And Eagley. Nussbaumer. Fourth line here for Davos, trying to create something. Nussbaumer creates a turnover. Eagley pokes it past the defender. And now it's off of a stick. Comes right back down and knocked in behind the net. Nordstrom on it for Davos. Swings to the middle, still going. Cutting wide, has traffic in front, tries to dump it off. But it comes right back to him in the corner. Nordstrom buzzing here a little bit now. Gives it to Stransky. Stransky back down to Nordstrom. Corby is in front of the net. Nordstrom back up to the blue line, across. Dahlbecker's shot turned aside by Kovac. Stransky behind the net again. Best shift of the period here for Davos. And they actually clear the zone on their own with an errant pass. Dahlbeck. Nygren.
Interesting, Justin. The last time that we saw the fourth line for Davos come out, they had a terrific scoring chance in the first period. The very next shift, Davos scored. Well, the best shift of this second period, again, comes on the heels of a really good shift from that fourth unit.
See if maybe Christian Volven decides to mix them in a little bit more here. Rasmussen, Nygren from the point. Far side, shot through. Kovac didn't have to get a piece of it. It's wide of the goal. Bounces into the corner, now up the boards. Moravchik, watched there by Rowe. Rasmussen as well. Bristet comes in to get it. It's taken away and moved up the left wing side. Ostap Safin into the zone. Backhand pass misses everybody, trickles down into the corner. Safin comes over. and watches as it's played down in behind the goal. Rowe. Rasmussen. Backhanded to nobody. And now Prague will take over. In on the attack. Slapper just wide. Off the stick of Dvoracek. Now Dvoracek moves it back down low. And that one is up and out of play midway through the hockey game.
Not a bad shooting percentage. He might have had 2 whacks at it.
Kick. We are nearing the midway point of the second period, the midway point of the game, and in fact, the midway point of the entire tournament. 11 games, we're partway through game number 5. Peugeot with his team trailing 4-1, moves it up ice. Now down into the corner. Ambule comes in there working with Michelish. Side of the goal. Michelish gets it back. Throws it back to the defenseman who moved down, whiffed on it. Sorella comes up with it. They'll get it to Ambule. Back up top. Return feed to the Davos longtime captain. Plays it in behind the net. Michelish. Back up to the blue line, now across to Eagley. He's got some time, thought about it, takes a return feed, still going. Back up top, Peugeot with a shot, hit a body, sits right in front of the net and will be cleared down the ice. And that should be enough for icing on the play. Another good shift, maybe the first of the game from that line for Davos.
And I think Sparta Prague was a little bit fortunate to get that icing because their forward, Gustav Thorold, lost his stick. And Davos was doing a good job exploiting that. But ultimately, after all that puck possession, really didn't get a quality shot on net.
We'll come back here with the Stransky-Corby line. And Stransky has it behind the net. Turns, puts it on goal. Paddle was down for Kovash. And his team will grab this puck and play it clearly out to the neutral zone. Corby double teamed here. Nice play to dump it up to Dahlbeck. And Davos has numbers. Dahlbeck. Corby following up, comes up with it. Now Corby down in behind the net. Pressured. Has it knocked away. And brought up the ice by Konechny. Dahlbeck and Stransky. Both down into the corner. Fora there as well. Now moves it out to Eagley at center ice. 8.5 to play in the second. Davos, the hosts, down by 3. This shot wide and bounces into the corner. Now Sabatka in behind the goal. Repik in the slot, fires it out to him, couldn't get it away cleanly. Another shot over the shoulder of Sen. Dahlbeck, long shift for Dahlbeck. Gets it just outside the blue line. It's a long change here for Dahlbeck as well. And he will be stuck out there at least for another moment or two. Moravchik moves it around far side. That'll be settled down. Dropped off on the board, sent towards the net. Nice little redirect, didn't work. Thorell in behind the goal. Tomasek looking for Horak in front, and he scores! Bangs it in on a second chance opportunity. And Roman Horak has his first of the tournament.
Oh, this is just great. perseverance from Roman Horak. He's in front of the net. Terrific identification from Tomasek. Throws it on the backhand. It hits a skate. It goes right off the pad of the netminder, Sen. But look at Horak with good positioning there, and he's just the first of the puck. He's got a Davos defender on each side of him, and he's able to win that battle. The first one goes off the skate of the Davos defender, and then quick hands from Roman Horak to bang that in the back of the net with Sen down. 5-1 Sparta Prague.
Horak was drafted by the Rangers back in 2009, ended up playing the majority of his short NHL career with the Calgary Flames, finished up with 2 games with the Oilers, one of which he actually scored in. He's been great getting in to the lineup tonight, had that breakaway that led to the second goal for Kempny. Now finishes one here, and the floodgates are open as Prague continues to push. Tomek, far side. Safin settles it down. From the blue line, a shot. Sen doesn't see it, and it's batted in. Vitouche. The route is on. Prague up by 5.
Well, Sparta Prague is putting the rest of the Spengler Cup on notice here this evening. 6 goals now they've put up on Davos, and Davos just looks shell-shocked. Buktila, way too easy. He's able to get to the front of the net. Vitouche, with positioning, picks up that rebound, slides it past the Davos netminder. You can see the broken play there as it just trickles onto Vitouche. He's first to get to it. Davos just doesn't have an answer right now. Prague's too fast, too strong, and they just want it that much more than Christian Bovain's club.
2 goals, 43 seconds apart. And the complexion of this game has changed drastically. Possibly complexion of the tournament with Prague now putting the boots to Davos. Sabatka, far side. Pribble down low, Repik on it as well. Back down into the corner. Sorella couldn't get a stick on it. Pribble, 74 maroon, plays it into the zone. Burrell sends it towards the net. Borovchik off the bench, sends it in front again. Gustav Thorell got a stick on it, but it's up and out of play. It's all Prague here on day 3 at the Spengler. Let's do Horak getting into the game. We can save Sabatka. Yeah. We had nothing tonight. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. Well, not the night many expected here, filing in to the Ice Stadium in Davos to watch their local club look to wrap up a spot in the semifinal on a 2-0 group stage record. Prague had other ideas, and to be frank, Davos just seemed overwhelmed.
I couldn't agree anymore, Dustin. You know, Davos got that fortunate bounce. They got that fortunate bounce to end the first period. You thought maybe that would give them some life, but ever since that shorthanded goal from Prague to open up the second period, It has been all them.
4 goals in the period for Sparta Prague. Kempny, Buchtila, Horak, and David Vatush.
You know, much like we saw in the earlier game today when Ambry Piotta, you know, they just started feeling it. And all their passes were connecting. They were winning the loose pucks, winning the races to pucks. That's almost what we're seeing here with Sparta Prague here in this second period. The longer we go on here, they're just feeling better and better about their game.
Tomek sends one through, and Jill Sen hangs on to it. He looks a little dejected right now as well. Eschleman will be the goaltender who plays tomorrow for Davos. Davos, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and you know, there's a couple goals that Sen probably wants back, but if you look at them as a whole, his supporting cast just hasn't been there.
Yeah, we're not going to hang this on him. The one that snuck through his legs, certainly would want that one back, but for the most part, like right here, I mean, that's a great scoring opportunity just due to lack of defensive awareness. Tomek knocks it loose. Fora settles it down. Over on the left side, 5.5 to play. Dahlbeck. Pass off a stick. Comes back to Dahlbeck again. Fora to Dahlbeck in behind the net. This relieves some pressure. Fora gives it away. Safin down into the corner. Nussbaumer comes in to help out as well. Nussbaumer still battling. Buchtila takes it away, plays it to the middle of the ice, misses a man at the point, and Krutil has to circle back for it. Safin couldn't get a stick on it, and that will be icing with 4:44 remaining in the second.
You know, you can tell Davos looks shell-shocked. They're just having a heck of a time coming out of their own zone. The indecision, you know, the fence partner's there. Fora can't decide if he's going to go back to his D-man or he's going to come up the ice. What happens? It goes right on the stick of Ostap Safin for Prague. And then, once again, Davos on their heels.
Just 3 shots in this period for Davos. The opposition has 4 goals in the period. Nygren down into the corner. Kempny chasing after it. He's off to the races looking for a hat trick. Kempny walking in on the backhander, and Jill Sen turns it aside. Kempny was flying there, wasn't he?
That was world-class speed right there. He made up his mind as soon as he came around his own net that he was going to get on his horse, and that he did.
Repik. Pribble drops it off. Now to Repik. Look at the puck movement here from Sparta Prague. Moravchik back down into the corner for Repik. Reverses it in behind the net. Nygren takes over. Minder up the boards, but right onto the tape of Prague's defenseman. Now Sabatka. Pribble back to Sabatka. Cute little redirect. Sen got just enough. Sabatka has made a few of those little plays today, hasn't he?
Doesn't he remind you just a little bit of Michael Spacek from Ambry Piotta?
That is a good point. Konechny bobbles it. He was in all alone. Sen never had to make a save. Now, Ambule walking in, has some help, throws it across, save made, rebound, also stopped. Kovash shuts the door.
Well, almost just a little bit of good news for Davos. Great job from Andreas Ambule, poke checking that puck ahead, creating that 2-on-1. Beautiful pass across. But Jan Kovash stands tall, and then the rebound to Michelish. It was bouncing. He didn't get all of it. But a great job from Kovash to reset himself and get back to the net to make that save. And I mean, you can hear the Davos fans. They're still supporting their club. They were hoping for a sign of something there.
They have been chanting for about 85% of this game, and their team is down 6-1. It's remarkable. Unless they just really love chanting, yeah? Big night for them here. In over the blue line, little sloppy, but he'll be knocked down in behind the goal. Eagly moves down from the point, gets a little bit of help. Seppala, Eagly, off the leg of Ambule, and now brought away. Tomasek. In behind the goal. Pressure here. Eagly looks to relieve a little bit of that pressure, show some patience. And it works. Now he'll take a return feed and some room to skate. Gonna chop it all the way down the ice. It was off the stick of Vitouche. Now Stransky behind the net. Back down into the corner. Rasmussen. Stransky's in front. Can't find him just yet. Stransky, the goal scorer for Davos. Prassel now in behind the net. Trying to work towards the front of the goal. Nordstrom on it here for Davos. 90 seconds to play in the period. A penalty, and the whistle will blow. Power play coming up late in the period for HC Davos.
Well, late push from Davos. David Vitouche is going to be going off for the hook there. And I mean, I think you can give Sparta Prague a break for maybe just taking a shift off there when you're up 6-1 late in a period. That's only human nature.
Well, Prague looked pretty good against the Canadians, and then they've added basically an entire second line here in Horak and Tomasek and Eric Thorell, which clearly looks to be a line that could rival the Sabatka line, and all of a sudden you've got a lot of offensive depth.
Yeah, and don't forget the two-goal man, Michael Kempney, that you've added to the back end as well. So
wow.
4 huge players to add to your team.
In a tournament like this, a guy like Kempney can lead you to a championship. Like, that's what it's looked like so far.
Great point.
Nygren plays it back. Now over on the right side. Ambule plays it down low and behind the net. Back up to the left point. A little bit of a stumble there from Nordstrom. 45 seconds remaining in the period. All of it on the power play unless they can score. Kovac watching on. Sauced across in front, makes the first save. Support there from Buchtele, but they give it away. Now a active stick. Sorella able to glove it down in behind the goal. That's Nordstrom parked right in front. Ambule as well. Back up to Nygren. Dumps it off. 15 seconds in the period. Sorella. Nygren. No shot yet. Now he'll send one through. Kovac is there to hang on with Nordstrom parked right on the doorstep.
Well, all in all, it's been a quiet period for Kovac. But when he's been needed, he's been there. You know what I mean? And obviously when he's been needed the last few minutes, it's been with a 5-goal cushion. But he gobbles up that puck from Nygren. Long shot from the point. No rebound available.
He is also their #1 netminder. He didn't play against Canada. Gets the start here tonight and has stopped 11 of 12 Davos shots. 10 seconds on the clock, late in the second. Corvey on the draw for Davos. Stransky, Eagly. Eagly hits a man in front with that shot to end the period, and it kind of sums up the night so far for HC Davos. They've been wonderful hosts as Prague, the visitors, with a 6-1 lead. Got it. Okay. Buck, did they do any talk about what the schedule would look like if this game stays the same in the intermission? No, but did Mark talk about it at all? Okay. All right, well, we'll get into it again here. Third period action coming up here as we get set to wrap up the group stage of the 2022 Spengler Cup. If this game continues to trend the way it has so far, it'll be Sparta Prague locking up top spot in their group and a bye into the semifinal, something that Ambri Piotta has already accomplished. Canada will face Örebro in one quarterfinal, and Davos will take on IFK Helsinki in the late game tomorrow.
Yeah, so something important on that is, of course, we still got 20 minutes in this game. Down 5 goals is Davos. Now they know that they're going to be playing tomorrow at this same time. I mean, you and I were chatting in the intermission. We fully expect to see a lot of lines 3 and 4 from Davos, trying to conserve some energy. I just don't think we'll get the intensity that we may have gotten in the opening 40 minutes here in this third. But hey, could be wrong. Obviously, you don't want to just coast into your next game. You want to end on a good note.
Nice way this tournament is set up for Prague. Beat Canada, day off. Beat Davos, assuming they finish this, day off. So only a couple of games in the first 4 days of the tournament sets them up nicely for the final 2 days, which will be a quick turnaround, obviously, with the final earlier on New Year's Eve day. Right off the draw, looked like a trip. Bertil went down, no call, and it'll be a Davos power play, 20 seconds remaining in that. Nordstrom. Prague has not even had a power play in this hockey game. They've got 5 even strength goals and a shorthanded marker. Kempny with 2 goals. Missed some time due to injury this year. Pass behind Michelis. Michelis down in behind the goal now. Throws it out front, one-timer denied. Back to 5-on-5. Nygren side of the goal looking for a redirect on a hard pass. Didn't work. Nygren again will let it fly. And Kovac got just enough of his foot on that. Goose Bomber sends it towards the front of the goal. Michelis rather. Ambule out there as well. And now to the blue line. Not out just yet. Another crack at it. And this time, Prague will clear the zone. Sorella plays it back. Inside the blue line and a change. 1 minute and 20 seconds into the period. Nussbaumer knocks it into the corner, wants to chase after it. Will get his stick on that puck, plays it down into the corner. Eagley comes in. Kovac moves out to poke it into the corner over to his right. Dahlbeck sends one through, save made, rebound there, and Kovac turns that aside as well. Good start here to the period for Davos. Nothing to show for it just yet, but the effort certainly there.
4 saves already from Kovac here.
Sen makes his first save of the period. And now Eagley back the other way, moves it ahead for Rowe. Rowe into the corner. Bristet couldn't get there in time. Now behind the goal, right out front, Rowe. Bristet, backhander, wide blocker side. Bounces into the corner, back up top to the blue line, a shot. Kovac busier in the first 2 minutes of this period than arguably the entire game. Now Bristet hauled down right in front of the official, no call. Rowe comes in as well. Bristet gets away with, well, he doesn't. Official out at center ice has the arm up on that slash that broke the stick of a Prague player.
Oh, the ref didn't blow the whistle there.
I was going to say, that was Davos who played it up the boards, wasn't it? Now it's knocked out again. Still no whistle. So the delayed penalty continues. 6-on-5. Kempny. Nice pass through the middle. Now into the corner. Nygren working there against Vitouche, who sends him down heavily. Sabatka. Down into the corner. Still going in behind the net. Sabatka drops it back up top. Kempny. Return feed. Sabatka. Kempny again. High slot. Shot tip just wide. And now it will be touched and blown down. But just over 3 minutes gone here in the third.
Well, and it was a good opening couple minutes from Davos, but then a pretty easy call on this slash right here, taking the stick out of the hands of the Prague forward. Bristead, who did score yesterday, had a pretty good chance right before then as well. And maybe a little bit of frustration on that one.
First power play of the game for Prague. Comes with them leading 6-1. Kempny, far side. Takes a return feed. Shot through, deflected. Sen bats it away with the big paddle. And now to be played off the glass and out. And another face-off coming up in Davos territory.
Well, as you mentioned, our first look at the power play here, and we'll get actually a quick look at some of the saves from Jan Kovac to start the period. This one was off the post. And like we said, that opening 2 minutes was a good flurry from Davos. And maybe a good sign that they're not going to coast their way through this final 20, but maybe have a little push. But before they can do that, they've got...
Does it matter how you lose? Does it matter how you lose in this tournament? Or just a loss is a loss?
I think it does to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose 9-1...
Yeah, that's a major buzzkill in a tournament that you host.
Yeah, and I mean, and that, but then if you're going to play Prague again,
yeah,
that's ways in the back of your mind. So you always want to hang your hat on something, a few positives.
Into the zone, Tomasek walking in. It's knocked off his stick and played out, back down the ice. Kovac comes out, wisely moves it ahead to Thorell. Thorell now. Sabatka in behind the goal. Kempny. Tomasek. Kempny again. Return feed to Tomasek. Towards the goal, and it's in. Beautiful tic-tac-toe from Prague, and the power play strikes as well.
Well, it's going to be Michael Repik's third goal of the tournament. Again, terrific puck possession here, and almost a no-look pass from Tomasek. He knows exactly where Repik is, stationed between the hash marks, almost as if Tomasek's going to go past him way back door. But Repik ready with his stick on the ice. We'll get a good look at it here. Kempny quarterbacking, kicks it out to Tomasek, and then almost looking off Repik, fires it right on his stick for the one-touch pass Sen. And head coach Christian Wolven's look says it all as his team trails 7-1.
Total deer in headlights look there as they fall behind by 6. Prague. Tomasek didn't play in that game against Canada either. He's in. Kempny with an assist on that goal. Now has 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, and I'd say a pretty decent Spengler Cup debut for Michael Kempny.
Well, when you talk about making your presence known, scoring about 4 seconds into your first shift is a pretty good way to start.
Vuktala. He's got a goal tonight. Goal moves it ahead for Safin. He's got one too. Has an assist as well. 2-point night Rostap Safin. Dahlbeck loses it in behind the goal, bounced off the side of the net. And now a chance for Stransky, the lone goal scorer, and it went off of his leg for Davos. Nordstrom sends it towards the goal. Dahlbeck was all tied up. Safin opts not to chase that puck down. He'll head off on a change. 14 minutes remaining here in the third. Prague with the most convincing lead and likely victory that we've seen so far in the 2022 event. Konechny sends it in. Stopped there by Nygren. He'll fire it in. Kovac grabs it. Calmly plays it in behind his own goal. Up the boards. Konechny can't get it out. Now they will. Cutting into the middle, throwing it across. One-timer, and they score again. A rocket. Top quarter. 8-1 Prague.
And this time it's David Dvoracek getting in on the action as he opens up for this one-time shot, and it is a bullet. Post and in, past Gilles Sen. Terrific look from Jakub Konechny to Dvoracek in stride. And that is a hot shot, post and in, and 8-1. And with 13-21, that can't go fast enough for Davos.
Won't surprise you because they've scored 8 goals, but all 4 lines for Prague have scored, plus their power play has scored. Tomasek in front, beautiful pickup. Puck laying right behind Sen. They almost had another.
Well, Davos is going to have a little bit of a pushback here, or this is going to get really ugly if they keep this up.
Battle in the corner. Gilles Sen left in for all 8. His team, of course, needing to play again tomorrow against IFK Helsinki. And Helsinki will be hungry for a win. From here on out, win or go home at the 2022 Spengler. Moravicek sends it in. Sen will hang on and get the whistle. All Prague, they lead 8-1. Welcome back to the Ice Stadium in Davos, where HC Davos is left wondering where it all went wrong. And may I suggest a shorthanded goal. We had a power play trailing 2-1 early in the third. Kent, if that one goes different, I mean, we may have a different hockey game here. Prague has clearly been the better team, but if they're able to score on that power play as opposed to giving up just a awful shorthanded goal, maybe we get something different.
Well, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head by saying an awful shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
It was the way that it happened that has almost been foretelling of what we've seen since, and it was just this lack of effort from any back checkers to come and help out. It was essentially a breakaway that turned into a 2-on-1 and then a 3-on-2 for Prague, short-handed, and there was no support coming in the way of Davos. That brought them down 3-1, and they've had no push since then. And on the other side, Prague has just gotten better and better. They've had more time with the puck. They've made more plays, and really, Davos has given the fans, well, they haven't had to give them anything to cheer about because they've been cheering anyway. But it's been a rough game for Davos. You know, you and I were talking, does it matter if you lose big or not? I mean, I think to some extent it does, but if you're going to have a stinker, then you might as well really
better now
blow it
than not to be eliminated. It's just a matter of bouncing back tomorrow. It will be the evening game here. It will be a packed house. And they'll be going up against IFK Helsinki, who is 0-2 so far in the event. Minder. Plus they'll have Eichelman back in goal, and he was excellent against Canada. Ambule in behind the net. One of the most lopsided games in the Spengler in over a decade. Ambule into the slot, nobody there. Sabatka overskated it. Talked about Sabatka a little bit and that short stick he uses, and I had a chance to chat with him briefly before I talked with him on camera, and he was holding his stick, and I came up and I said, there it is. I said, that's the short stick we've been talking about. And he said, well, I'm not a very tall guy, but it looks slightly awkward. It works extremely well because he's been automatic. So I guess the lesson here is find what works for you and go with it. This thing barely comes up to his chest.
No, I mean, it is extraordinarily small. You might get a look on the face-off here. His left hand is basically on the blade, but when he's got pucks on his stick in tight situations,
oh, he's good.
He's so good, and he can pull that puck right in close to his skates and then pull it out again. And you know, we were making some comparisons to Michael Spacek from Ambry Piotta, who was on fire earlier today in their victory. And one thing we see from both those top lines is they just hold on to that puck for an extra second. They really hate to ever give possession away. You know, they will hold on to it, and then seemingly a passing lane opens up, and it's there. And so we've seen here tonight Sabatka, Prebel, and Repik look very good as a threesome.
A lot of great players, regardless of the league, even overseas, will hang on to that puck. But it's also very much a European hockey thing, isn't it?
No, it really is. I mean, North America is changing, but obviously for so long as we've got a penalty coming up here, it's the dump and chase.
Yeah.
I'm going to give away my possession in hopes of going to retrieve it because, I don't want to get checked in the neutral zone, whereas a lot of times in the European way is I'm going to hold that puck as long as I can. If I don't like what I see, hey, I'm happy to turn it back, and we'll try again. Prassel for Davos draws the penalty. It's going to be a high stick. Michael Oravchuk going to the box, and maybe, just maybe, a chance for HC Davos to move the puck around a little bit and test Jan Kovac in the Prague net.
I'm totally fine with broadcasting one of the most epic comebacks in hockey history. It would have to start here, though. Eagly along the line sends one through. Kovac has been so steady, just down in the butterfly, and steers it into the corner. Now Sabatka flips it down into the corner. Sen waiting for it, moves it up the wing. And Rowe has it for Davos in the bright yellow inside the blue line. That one went off of a leg. Stransky will keep it in. Stransky still going around a diving defender, now back up top. Eagly, far side. Stransky, Eagly. Stransky again, looking in the high slot. Really wasn't there for him. And it's turned over. Around the boards, kept in on the far side by Rasmussen. Stransky. Eagly tries to keep it in. Davos thought about a change. Rowe lost it. Rasmussen is there, off the boards with it. Down to one knee, trying to keep it inside the blue line, can't do it. That'll come out, and Horak will clear it all the way down the ice. Stransky playing in his second Spengler Cup, in his second year with Davos. Was with Trinech, who lost to Canada in 2019. Could see it being interesting for some players. You come up here with another team, you see the crowd, you see the city, and 8 months later you're signing with HC Davos.
It's definitely probably the most powerful recruiting tool you can use. If you come here as an opposing player and Davos gives you a call in the offseason, you definitely got to think long and hard about it because it's a pretty magical location.
At the blue line, Bohm stood up. Dahlbeck's played a ton here. He'll set up in behind his own net. Now they'll move it ahead. Nussbaumer sends it in, chases after it. He's had some jump in the lineup tonight. Got in, flying around a little bit, just took a penalty. Kovac calmly over to the bench. That'll be touched, and another power play coming up for Prague when we return to Davos. Welcome back to the final game of day 3 at the 2022 Spengler Cup. And Sparta Prague, after narrowly defeating Canada on the opening day by a score of 3-2, they have blown the doors open here against HC Davos, leading 8-1, and have a power play with just over 6 minutes to play. Their power play, 1-for-1. Everything's gone right.
And you're up 8-1, and you're still putting out your number 1 unit out there.
Repik. Down low. Tomasek knocks it loose. Back up top to Kempny. Across to Sabatka. Kempny. Side of the goal. Sabatka settles it down. Bouncing puck, Kempny. Throws it across far side. Sabatka's shot whiffed on it. Chance to clear the zone, and they will. Prague, 8 goals here, 3 against Canada, 11 for the tournament. Looking for another one, and they got it. That's a beauty. That's a pretty one. Finished off by Horak. And you don't need many shots when the net's wide open.
Well, we were just talking about holding on to that puck a little bit longer than you'd expect. I mean, everyone on the ice, everyone in the crowd thinks that this is a shot coming right here. Oh no, Prebil looks backdoor to Roman Horak, and it's a wide open net. There's the reaction right there from a Czech fan. Terrific patience, terrific poise. And now what is that, 12 goals in the tournament on 48 shots.
They are shooting 25% so far in this tournament. 9 on 27 just tonight, 33%. So not everything they're putting on net's going in, but a lot of them are. Now off the inboards. That's glove down, and Kent, knowing how much this tournament means to HC Davos, this is an embarrassment. I mean, this game and this loss, regardless of what happens the rest of the way, I mean, if they come back and win the tournament, people will love it, but they'll still always remember this loss to Sparta Prague.
There's no question about it. I mean, it's been a long time, if ever, that they've ever given up 9 in their host tournament. And you almost just get the sense from what we've seen in the last minute and a half here that Prague kind of wants to get 10.
Oh, they did have their big boys out there on that power play, up 8-1, which is unheard of in North America. That probably leads to a brawl of some sort. Ristet, down low. He poked in behind the net. Rowe sends it wide. 4 minutes to play, off the post. Kovac never saw it. I really don't think anybody did until it clanged the iron.
That's the second post hit for Davos today. But you're right, it was seemingly a harmless shot that hit a body on the way through, and Kovac did not see it for a moment.
Dahlbeck drops it off. Ambule circles around. Up top to Nygren. That one stung just a bit. Blocked and knocked away by Thorell. Nygren takes it in behind his own cage, now skates it away. Stretch pass is a good one, but it's offside. It's Sorella, who was ahead of the play with some speed up the left wing.
Hey, Dustin, I just wanted to make a quick comment. If you were watching last night's game with HC Davos against Canada, with about 2 minutes left, there was a really scary moment as it was Brett Connolly that skated over Sven Ljung, the defenseman for Davos. He went immediately to the bench. Everyone on the bench was up and roar. Even Connolly for Canada was making motions that something not good here is happening. Well, I was able to track down Davos general manager Jan Alston in between periods, and he said, yeah, you know what, it's not good. Cut his tendons in his arm and some muscle as well. He had to go to the hospital, so he's going to be missed for a while in what was a very, very scary moment. So we made mention of it last night. We just didn't know what the final result was. There's your update.
Scary play. I mean, it's all we saw it in the NHL with Evander Kane just this season. And now again here at the Spengler Cup to a veteran player for HC Davos. Once again, wise to get up and head to the bench as quickly as possible in a panic situation. Eagley, 2.5 to play. They'll move it ahead. Noose bomber. Lost it. Repik has it for Prague. Think about it. The only goal they allowed bounced off of 2 players in behind the netminder. Outside of that, close to as perfect a hockey game that you're going to see played at this tournament.
You know, you hate to use this word, but and I think a lot of it's just the way that Prague's played, but you know, it's almost like Davos is just disinterested. You know, that really there's been no emotion, hardly any pushback at all. And, you know, so obviously you got to give a lot of credit to Sparta Prague that they've probably sucked that out of the hosts. But you thought you might see something once they went down, and it just never came.
Sen leaves it in behind his goal. The chants still continue, even with the home side losing 9-1. Now, I can't understand that. Maybe they're chanting bad things, but the chant is still happening.
Well, you know, I mean, I think, you know, to an extent, the European fan is a little bit different than what we're accustomed to, the North American fan. I mean, you know, this tournament is a celebration of hockey. This is a party, and yes, their team is down, but I don't think these fans really want to let that ruin their evening.
Oh, they're still going to party.
They still want to have fun, and we're all together and we're with our friends, so let's sing along. Whereas, you know, if this is happening in a North America building, well, the boos are happening, and heaven forbid, maybe there's a jersey being thrown on the ice.
And everybody's gone, and I'd say 95% of this crowd is still here in a 9-1 hockey game as we now enter the final minute of play in regulation. Prague locks up top spot in the division with wins over Canada and HC Davos. Davos will finish second in the group and will face IFK Helsinki tomorrow. Late goal to a round of applause from the longtime veteran Ambul, playing in his 14th Spengler Cup. Actually a really nice pass.
It really was. 20 seconds left. And a terrific finish from Ambul as well as Kovac. The Prague netminder was down and out. You could see a little grin from the fans there, but Andreas Ambul, 39 years of age, collects this puck, and then a wonderful finish up and under the bar. So one final reason for these hometown fans to applaud.
As weird as it sounds, Ambul had not scored in his last 6 Spenglers, and he's got one here. So something for him to build on. Scored 5 in the 2008 tournament. But that is going to do it. This one sent down the ice for icing. Canada, Orbro, tomorrow to start the day. Davos versus IFK to finish it. Prague and Ambry Piotta waiting for winners. Kempny, Horak added to the lineup, and safe to say they made a significant impact here tonight.
Yeah, talk about difference makers. Did they ever? 2 goals from each of them, and probably more than anything, just bolstered the whole lineup. As you mentioned earlier, it was a whole second line that you inserted in. And full marks to Sparta Prague. They let 5 other teams know that they're for real, and they're going to be waiting in the semifinals.
Prague will now wait for the winner of Canada versus Orbro. That will be determined tomorrow as a Spengler Cup spanking. 9-2 the final. Prague over HC Davos. Thank you very much for joining us from Switzerland. Sounds good, Buck. Thanks.